calls itself a church, but some of what it does sounds more like a cult, and its leader is under fire for what he did with members' money. Tonight on Special Assignment, Dean Staley has the story of a believer whose belief and bank account have both hit rock bottom. Dean?
Well, Dick, one Albuquerque man got investment advice at the same place he got his salvation, and he found out the hard way that dividends are not always divine.
$120,000 is a lot of money. I mean, I worked hard, but I worked 3 jobs.
Horace Gill is looking at what he has to show for a lifetime of saving, a pile of papers.
Nobody never know what happened to the money. We never got an answer what happened to the money.
It all began when Gill started attending this General Assembly church in the San Francisco Bay Area in 1989.
Nice people, true friendship with some of the people.
Over the years, that fellowship came to include an investment opportunity offered by church leader Michael Parker. The investments were set up as loans for real estate deals with returns as high as 35%. Starting in 2002, Gill invested $120,000, his life savings, with Daystar Investments. Gill was such a believer that in 2005, he moved to Albuquerque to retire and helped start a local branch of the General Assembly Church near Coors and I-40. That's when his faith in the church was tested and his investment disappeared.
Yeah, it bring back some bad memories.
In 2006, needing money for retirement, Gill asked to take his money out of the investment fund, only to find there was no money.
What they owe me today is this amount.
$175,000.
Yes.
Gill says he spent more than a year calling, emailing, and sending letters to Daystar. He says he got no answer and no money. His view of the General Assembly Church began to change.
It's like you getting rocked to sleep and you don't know it. It's just like for that doctrine, his doctrine, you know what I'm saying?
The General Assembly closed its Albuquerque branch in 2008 and sold the church building.
Now, what I think it is, I think it's not a church. I think it's, it line up almost like a cult. They actually tell you about the world. You can't be a part of the world if you go, if you go outside these doors, that's the world. Your job is strictly go to work, don't be mingling. You never think about that till you get out and step out and say, man, what was I in?
Last summer, the California Department of Corporations ordered Michael Parker and Daystar to stop selling securities. The order says in selling investments, Daystar may have, quote, included an untrue statement of a material fact.
They tried to bluff and scare those people. God took your money. That's what they was telling them. God caused you to lose it.
Gill says he was just one of hundreds of people in California and Albuquerque who lost their savings.
I couldn't say how much, but it was a lot of money. It was in the millions, and nobody today never know what happened to the money.
When you talk about fraud, the church being some cult who's taking people's mind and all of that.
Mind control?
Mind control. That right there I have a problem with.
Michael Parker is the church leader who was also the CEO of Daystar Investments, interviewed here by our San Francisco affiliate.
First thing I would say is I understand, and I'm sorry for how things turned out, but it was in my control.
Parker blames the investment losses on a real estate market that cratered, but Gill says Daystar was failing long before the market soured.
I have heard these things before, and sometimes when people get angry, I've noticed that they'll latch on to something that someone has said, whatever it takes to try to make the issue more, get more attention, but that's not who we are.
Michael Parker is appealing the state of California's order against his business operations. A decision on that appeal is expected within the month. Back.
All right, Dean, the General Assembly Church here in Albuquerque, as Dean reported, has failed, but it still has congregations in California, Tyler, Texas, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana.